Welcome back to iHeart Crypto. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, go down, smash up that like button. Let's get right into it. So Bitcoin is coming in at exactly $40,000 right now. And as we've been talking about, we have these Heikin-Ashi candles that really tell you the difference of where the trend is going in Bitcoin. So for example, up here, you had this Heikin-Ashi candle signal a reversal of the downside. You had this Heikin-Ashi candle right here, excuse me. Sorry. This Heikin-Ashi candle here signaled to the upside, and then we got another one right here. Now, the weekly candle just overshadowed, so will the reversal continue is the question. And another thing to notice is we had this line of uptrending support right here that seems to have broken at the very moment. And we are in basically free fall, in essence, down to the downside. Now, the levels I'm watching for here are 39,300 and 36,600. Those are our previous levels of resistance and support. As you can see here on this line, you had resistance, resistance, and here you had support, support, and down here you have another level of support right there. So those are the levels we're looking for. This one broke, and it seems like we've come back down a little bit. We didn't quite touch it exactly. If we look on a lower time frame, we didn't quite touch it exactly. And this is the pattern I'm currently playing right now. We'll see if that works out on the stream or not. But it seems like we just wicked right down to it and wicked right back up, and now we're just playing in that 41.2 to 39.3 range for Bitcoin. So today's video is titled Lux Algo, which is a brand new indicator that I just purchased, and I really like it. It gives some great indicators, and this is what it looks like on the 3-minute time frame. But let me take you to the higher time frames and just show you how accurate this thing can be in predicting trends. So if you look here, you had a strong buy signal on Lux Algo, and it kind of ran up a little bit. But if you caught the signal for here, strong sell signal, boom, that was your signal to short. If you caught this here, a strong buy signal, you could have rode that all the way up. Little small sell signal, strong sell signal, and the thing that we're worried about, or mostly concerned with, I should say, not really worried because you can always short the market, is you can just tell by each one of these strong sells have been really valuable on this downtrend. And in the buys, you know, the buys on this downtrend, I'm finding that they just don't. I mean, this is like a bear market kind of stuff. They just don't play out. You know, you get a little bit of a pump here, maybe a small long, but in the end, the trend is to the downside. So, what's this? Get out of here. The trend is to the downside. So, the real question is now, will we see more downside? In fact, you might even argue that this is your this line right here was your downtrend of resistance. Let me just sharpen that up. Right, that was your downtrend of resistance. Now you broke it, you came back up, you haven't had your retest yet. So you might be thinking that, you know, maybe you got to come back down here, get your retest before shooting back up. And if it does fall, if it does break that structure and heads back in, you can be looking at a $30,000 Bitcoin. Just to be clear. Now on the other hand, you know, you might be bouncing off this level right here before continuing up, get back into the trend, and maybe go sideways here for a little bit. No one knows in this market where things are going, but that's why I'm using the indicator, because I think that it gives, you know, just a little bit better idea on the general direction of the market. It's just something to add into your repertoire. And, you know, if you're looking here on like the 15-minute, all right, or let's go to the higher time frames first. So your RSI is making its way to the bottom, but still has room to run down on the 12-hour. On the 8-hour, it's kind of hitting a low right there. So these are good indications for reversals. All right, the 4-hour is almost in the oversold territory. The 1-hour hit the oversold territory and has come back up. And let's see if it's forming any kind of divergence, bullish, bearish divergence, where you have higher highs in the price action. Let's see if we can find this right here. Okay, so you have higher highs in the price action like that. Actually, you might argue that these are, there's no real divergence to speak of. You know, kind of already it's kind of already played out a little bit, because you had higher highs in the divergence, lower highs in the price action, and you could say that that played out right there. So I can't see any divergence to speak of as of right now on the 1 hour and on the 15-minute. Again, I don't see any real divergence where you have higher highs in the RSI and lower highs in the price action. Although, if we do come up here a little bit more, just realize that that would be making a little bit more bearish divergence on the 15-minute. And if the RSI were to come up a little bit more, you know, you could be forming some bearish divergence on the 1 hour. So that's just something to be concerned about when you are trading today. You know, maybe let the price come up a little bit. Maybe he has to retest the bottom of this trend line, and then that would be a good time to put in a short. In essence, we haven't got any signals here on the lower time frames for Lux Algo, but there's your 7-minute time frame. Right now, this is just reading that the trend is mainly bearish, that it's in favor of the bears. And there's a couple other things I can go over here with Lux Algo. Is you can see these red and green clouds. And one thing to note about those red and green clouds is that every time the price action has come down below the green line is typically a good buying opportunity. So as you can see right here, this is a great buying opportunity. Actually, I'm kind of lying, isn't it? You know, normally, if it goes into the green, it's a good buying opportunity. That's the general trend. So like right here was a good buying opportunity because you got a little pump up. But even more likely in a downtrend, I would be looking at the red cloud, I suppose, where you can't kind of wait for it to come up to touch the red, and then you put in your short. All right, that would have been a great short up there when it touched the red. Here was a great short up here when it touched the red. It did not touch the red cloud up there at all, but you know, which could signal that we might be getting a little bit of a push up. So that's just another thing to consider, that you know, we haven't gotten a buy signal yet here on the 4 hour, which could indicate that we have a little bit more downside. And on the 1 hour, I believe that we've gotten nothing as well. There it is, waiting for it to load. Yeah, it's just very indecisive in between the two clouds. So, you know, really there's no trade as of right now, to be honest with you. If you're trading these lower time frames, you're probably going to get wrecked. I got a little wreck this morning. But we're gonna eat those and come back strong on our next trade. So, you know, you don't force trades, you let them happen. If in essence, if this does come down any more, you're likely to get a buy signal up here for a little bit of a bounce if you did want to put in a trade. If it does shoot up, then you know you're right in the middle there. Maybe you wouldn't want to ride that up either, because then you might link a lower high in the price action right here either. This is basically like a no trade zone. I think that unless it comes down and hits this green cloud, you know, it's basically no trade zone. But you know, then again, you know, we keep talking about these strong signals on Lux Algo. There was a strong signal there, and they kind of last a little bit longer. You know, if you're really looking at the length of these things, this is just came in. Could we see more downside to about, you know, the mid $30,000 range? I think that's feasible based on the indicators. So let's take a look at coin market cap real quick. Ooh, hold on one second. Let's put me over here. All right, let's see what we got. Let's refresh the page. So we got the total market cap coming in at just under $2 trillion. Bitcoin dominance at $41,000.3,000. In fact, you know what? Let me go back here real quick. I like to point out the dominance and a couple other things I saw on the charts this morning. Let's not look at the total market cap. Let's look right here. Oh, there's the USDT dominance. So this is USDT dominance, the Tether dominance versus Bitcoin. And if you do look, we have this uptrend level of support that we bounced off of, and we kind of made like a little bit of a cup and handle here. So, you know, that's kind of telling me that that Bitcoin could be seeing a little bit more downside as the Tether pumps, Bitcoin dumps in essence. But interesting enough, Bitcoin dominance dropped, okay, and now it looks like it's coming back up to test this trend line. Could that signal a Bitcoin rally, but an altcoin rally as well? It could. It very much could. But that's definitely something to keep an eye on as well. So just something else I wanted to point out. But besides dominance, as far as the overall market, Bitcoin, of course, $40,000 minus about 2.5% today. XRP minus about 2%. Let's see if we hit Solana taking a bigger hit, 4%. Let's see, Crypto.com down. What other coins are we really into? Cosmos down 5%, but up 30% on the 2-month. That's really good. Yeah, basically a sea of red. Phantom though, still killing it over 60 days, which is good if you've been holding Phantom. But basically a sea of red, of course, over the bloodbath we just had after that dip. And what else is there today? Crypto Fear and Greed Index coming in at a 30. You know, this could signal a little bit more upside. You know, anytime you're in fear is either a good time to be buying, all right? Especially in a sideways trend, this could mean that we do a little bit of a pump up to the upside. Normally, fear is a good thing for price action to the upside in general. But let's take a look at our heat map. Sea of red, of course. That's just how crypto is living lately. And I found this story a little interesting today. It says Bitcoin mining difficulty has hit an all-time high. Mining difficulty and hash rate are both on the up, despite leading cryptocurrency dropping 7% over the week. So competition among Bitcoin miners has reached new highs according to the latest data. The Bitcoin hash rate is close to an all-time high. Taken together, the two metrics highlight the fact that mining has never been more popular and more distributed around the world. This is than it is at this very moment. This argues well for the network as a whole, and which means that the network also has been more secure. So sorry, I read that a little messed up, but yeah, it just means that the network of Bitcoin is very secure. The adoption is happening, and more than people than ever are getting themselves into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So that was the only news story I really had. Just popping back over to the trade of the day, if you will. We're just waiting for Bitcoin to kind of break out of this triangle right here. And on the 3-minute, it looks like it's coming up. So based on your bias, if you really wanted to put in a short right here, okay, you could put in your short, but in essence, you know, no one knows where this market is going. So do you short up there? I mean, this isn't exactly the even most solid of patterns either. This is drawn on the 3-minute chart. Most patterns on the 3-minute chart are basically good for about the next 10 minutes of trading. So if this does break out, you're likely to get, you know, a little bit of a pump to the upside, maybe back to this previous resistance up here. And but I do think that if you get pumped to the downside, you could be seeing further downside, considering that's the trend, at least. Let's go to a little bit of a cleaner chart here. You know, the trend at the very moment is to the downside. So, you know, you also have this little, it's like falling channel here, right? You can kind of see that a little like that. See, it's more of a flag than it is a channel. That's too big to be a channel, unless it continues like that to the downside. But I see more of a flag than anything else developing at the current moment. Of course, you could just break down to the downside, kind of hit this level of support before bouncing back up into the range to the upside, and vice versa. So I do think that in the immediate short term, whatever happens out of this flag will dictate just the next move to support and resistance zones within this range. So, yeah, that would be it for today's video. If you like the video, go down and press that like button. If you liked me and this video, subscribe to the channel for more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.